Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today's recipe is green bean casserole. One of my friends taught me this recipe and I thought I'd share it with you since I love it so much. Alright, the first of all, we're gonna add some water to a pan along with green beans and mushrooms. You can also use other vegetables other than mushrooms. It is a green bean casserole, so I would suggest you to stick with green beans. You can also just leave them longer or slightly less smaller. Um, Next, I'm going to go ahead and add in the mushrooms, like I said, and I'm also going to add some salt and some garlic to it, minced garlic. You can add in garlic powder if you want, but I'm just going to add in minced garlic since I have it on hand, and some salt. And if you want some spice to it, you can actually add some paprika too, but I'm not going to add paprika into this. So next step is just to go ahead and add the flavorings to it, give it a nice mix, and let them come to a boil. As soon as they come to a boil, one more thing is that you get vegetable stock with it. So if you don't want to use chicken stock in this recipe, you're more than welcome to use the stock that is created with the vegetables. So all that water just becomes vegetable stock because you're cooking all the vegetables in the boiling water. So then I'm going to go ahead and remove the vegetables as soon as they're done into a casserole dish. These are mushrooms and green beans. Of course, you can cut them slightly longer. I mean, you don't have to cut them as small. So just remove them all into casserole dish. Here they are. So these are not almost all what I had. I did divide them into two casseroles because I wanted to make one vegetarian version and one chicken version. So yeah, next what I'm going to do is take some butter in a pan, the same pan actually. You add in some onions and minced garlic. Yes, you add in more garlic because that garlic was just tossed out almost. So I'm going to saute this for a little bit and just until it kind of softens up. You don't need to brown it at all. I mean, we're making American cuisine, so you definitely don't need to brown it at all. Just soften it a little bit and then you move on to the next step. Finally, next I'm going to go ahead and add in some flour. Now I'm also making this gluten-free. Well, technically not gluten-free because onions do have gluten in them, and I'll show you what I mean. But I'm using some quinoa flour over here. If you feel like you need to add a little bit more butter, you can. I think I did add a little bit more butter because it does seem a little dry here. But what happens is, you just go with equal amounts of butter and equal amounts of flour. So, and also a lot of the onions also soak up a lot of flours, oh sorry, butter. So you can go a little bit higher on the butter and just add some quinoa flour to it. Finally, after making sure the flour is cooked a little bit for a few minutes, I'm going to go ahead and add in some milk to it. The ingredients are in the description box, so don't worry about that. All the measurements and all the ingredients are in the description box. So mix it up for a little bit, and finally you get it all lump free. These are not lumps, these are the onions. Remember, we have onions in them, so that's why they look like they're all lumps in here, but there's just onions in there. So these are all lump free, and I mean the sauce is lump free right now. But what I'm waiting for it is for it to come to a simmer or a boil, something like that. And here we are. It is thickened up a little bit, and I think I'm gonna go ahead and use this as my sauce. Oh yeah, I forgot. I did add chicken broth to it too. For the vegetable version, I did take out some into a bowl, so that's why hence the sauce is a little bit less than what we made. I did take out some of the white sauce into a separate bowl for the vegetarian version. So I added some chicken broth in it, and then you let it come to a boil, and then you finally add in some rosemary. You can also add in sage or thyme if you want to, but I don't have any on hand right now, so that's why I just went ahead and added in rosemary to it. So mix it up very well, let the flavors come together. Next, I'm going to go ahead and add basil. Actually, I forgot about this, but yeah, I did add basil to it as well. They're both dried herbs. You can add fresh ones if you want, but dried herbs are so easily available these days and they're so easy to use. So I'm just going to go ahead and add in some basil and some rosemary that I also already added in, and just going to mix it up really well. And then finally, I'm going to pour it over the vegetables. After that, I'm going to add in some fried onions to it and some of Parmesan cheese. Now it's totally up to you if you don't want to add too many onions right now or too much cheese right now. This is all going to go into the casserole. We're not topping it off. You'll see what I mean. Then you go ahead and give it a good mix. And what I mean is actually mix it all in. And then finally we put it in the oven, which is preheated to 350 degrees Fahrenheit, or let me double check. I'll put it in the description box. I'm sorry, I think I kind of forgot how much it was, but I think it was 400 degrees. Sorry, but anyways, you put it in the oven for some time, and I will let you know in the description box below for how long I did it. I think I left it in for about 30 minutes, and then after that, you go ahead and take it out of the oven. You pop some extra onions on the top. Yes, you get a crispy layer on top. That's what means a casserole, right? Or that's what a casserole means. And then you finally sprinkle some Parmesan cheese on the top. So it's like onions and Parmesan cheese. And this time the casserole goes under the broiler. You make sure you set the oven on broiler mode this time, and it goes in for maximum 2 minutes. Because a broiler on high is going to be very fast, and that's how it looks when it's out of the broiler. You hardly need like 2 minutes under the broiler. It'll burn super fast if you leave it for too long. And that's it, you guys. I hope you enjoyed my recipe. I will see you next time. One more thing, guys. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to my channel. It really motivates me. Until then, I'll see you next time.